2. We've done 1, 2, 3. Now number 4, fourth pick overall. So I guess the fourth worst team in the NFL this year. The New York Jets.
Right. So number 1 on our list for New York Jets, and that's draft Derek Stingley. This is the corner out of LSU. LSU, probably DBU. They have premier defensive backs coming out of the draft all the time, elite level players, looking out Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson kind of guys. Stingley is a guy after that mold. Robert Saleh, the New York Jets head coach, big defensive guy. Their defense was terrible. Gave up over 500 points last year, including some just disasters against the Colts and the Patriots. I mean, they just gave up a lot of points. They need someone to come around and kind of be like a sort of stabilizing force. And I think the guy to do that is Stingley. He's a potential to be a really top flight corner, played in the SEC. So that's elite quarterback and receiver competition. I think he's a great pick early on in the draft, number 4 overall, to come in and give him just like an elite top player that they've been missing for a long time on that defense.
And going back to earlier when we were talking about the Houston Texans, when were the Jets at their best? When Revis Island was alive and well and kicking in New York. That was one of the premier seasons for the Jets. There's all the Darrelle Revis years. So, go out, get yourself a premier cornerback, put him out on an island, and let Robert Saleh do his defensive thing.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to. They were as bad as they were on defense. You could really pick any level for them to get better, but I think you got to start with secondary. You got to, in the modern NFL, if you got to work unless you can get like a superstar pass rusher. You got to go from the secondary back, and I think the secondary up. I'm sorry, and Stingley is the guy to do it to start the draft off for him.
Absolutely, and we keep that rolling into our second point. Don't stop at Derek Stingley. Keep drafting defense. Saleh is a defensive guy. Your defense is terrible. You need to keep drafting defensively and build that monster that you had. Go back to the years of Muhammad Wilkerson and Darrelle Revis, and they had another defensive tackle who was so good. Snacks Harrison. All those guys. Go back to the crazy good defensive years, the big green monster, go back to the Jets of old.
Yeah, 100%. And this is when you're Saleh, who's like a young coach, energetic coach, you need to start implementing your culture and strategy on defense. And I don't think the way to do it is to do it in free agency and get like veterans who are set in their ways or the different coverages and schemes they like to play. Get young guys who are, enthusiastic, energetic, because you're trying to turn around an organization that's been terrible for a long time. You don't want some stodgy veteran or somebody like that to come in and slow that process. You need to it's sort of like cleaning house a little bit. Bring in the young rookies, bring in the young guys, draft super heavy on defense, revamp it top to bottom. There's going to be growing pains, but you're going to bring in guys that are going to believe in your system and work hard to support it.
Absolutely. Now, the third thing on our list, a little bit different from the first two, but this is where we stray from the first 2 points that we have been making. What's our third point, Nick?
So big splash free agent additions on the offensive side of the ball, specifically skill positions, mainly wide receiver, tight end, settle for running back. You've got your rookie quarterback contract. You got your guy in Zach Wilson. You've committed to him. He's your guy. You got to expect him to continue to grow and get better. The New York Jets have $54 million of free cap going into this offseason. That means sign checks. Take the Patriots approach from last year and sign a bunch of guys, bunch of tight ends, bunch of wide receivers. Looking at Mike Williams from the Chargers, Christian Kirk from the Arizona Cardinals, Gesicki, the tight end from Miami. There's a bunch of guys. The list could go on and on. Go after all these guys. Try and sign as many of them as possible. Don't be afraid to overpay a little bit. You need to give your guy, your young rookie quarterback, some legit weapons, right? And all those guys that I mentioned, Williams, Kirk, and Gesicki, I like guys like that because they're coming off playing with rookie quarterbacks or young quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
so they're used to it, right? They know the growing pains. They know some of the struggles. Get them around Wilson. Give him the weapons he needs to be successful. Pair that with a revamped young defense, and maybe this team can start making some waves in the AFC East.
No, I completely agree. So Like we said, just to recap on our roadmap for the New York Jets and success in the offseason. Number one, get that island corner. Go draft Derek Stingley. Get out there and get that done. Number two, don't stop with Stingley. Keep drafting defense. Let's see what Robert Saleh can do with some defensive weapons. And finally, number three, stay away from the draft. Go in, get some proven free agent splash signings to go and show your young quarterback, hey, we believe in you. Here's some weapons. Here's some guys. The tight ends, the receivers, maybe a running back. Go out there, get him the tools he needs to be successful. Do you have any last points on the Jets for us, Nick?
No, I think we gave him a great roadmap there. It's on them to follow it. I think that's all they got to do. Steps 1, 2, 3.
Well, so far, I think the Jets are one of the teams that can come out being the most successful of the first four teams that we've covered outside of maybe the Lions. I think the Lions are also set up very well. But we'll have to see how they do this coming off season. And we'll keep you updated on how they've followed our plan.